Percy Jackson, everybody. Here we go again. Book 2. Let's go. If you don't know what Percy Jackson is, then you missed out on it just like me, hence why I'm slowly reading them now. Anyways, in this many seconds, I'll be explaining the characters, settings, plot of the first 8.5 chapters, and the themes. Let's go. So first off, we have Percy Jackson, a teenager that has the worst luck imaginable and also happens to be the son of Poseidon. He, obviously, is our main character. Next up on the chopping block, we have Tyson, another son of Poseidon, who happens to be a Cyclops. Yeah, those huge things with one eye. Moving on, a new challenger approaches, oozing with hubris and a daughter of Athena. Drumroll, please. Annabeth. Her name is Annabeth, and she's awesome. Now we have Grover, a satyr who's gotten himself captured by another Cyclops and has to be rescued. Come on, Grover. Lastly, Clarice, daughter of Ares and bloodthirsty as ever. Most of the book is spent in two places, first of which being Camp Half-Blood. Oh my gosh, am I clipping the audio, or am I just seeing things? First of which being Camp Half-Blood, aka a camp for people who are half-god. Second being the Sea of Monsters, which is exactly what it sounds like, but I will not be covering that section of the book because if you haven't read these books, I suggest you do. Percy's school is also one of the settings, but we're not there for too long, so I'm not explaining it. Okay, so the book starts out with Percy's final days in his new school. He's managed to stay in a school without getting expelled once more, and he hopes to the gods that nothing would go wrong. And of course, everything goes wrong. On his last day there, Percy shows up. Oh no, Percy does not show up. On his last day there, Percy's bully shows up with more people than usual this time. The bully explains that his extra goons are transfer students, and they all start to push around Percy and Tyson. One thing to note, in this world, there's this thing called the Mist. It's basically a thing that disguises all the magical items, creatures, and actions that happen and make them look normal. For instance, Percy, being half human and therefore still affected by the mist, along with everyone else, sees Tyson as this tall, hairy kid that has a hard-to-look-at face, which explains why everyone wouldn't run off in terror when they see Tyson, because, you know, Cyclops. Anyways, these guys show up, and the main bully says that by the end of PE class that day, Percy would be dead. So the class rolls around, and the new guys transform into monsters and start throwing flaming, exploding dodgeballs. This is also when I started to notice something is definitely up with Tyson. I say I noticed because for some reason, Percy doesn't think that Tyson being able to catch and throw back the dodgeballs is weird. Anyways, once the gym is thoroughly destroyed, Percy and Tyson escape with the help of Annabeth, because by the way, she's been stalking Percy the whole day while wearing her baseball cap that when worn makes her invisible. So they slowly make their way to Camp Half-Blood, and once they do, the group sees that a huge battle is going on with some monsters. Oh my god. In the heat of battle, Annabeth lets Tyson into Camp Half-Blood, which is confusing for Percy because normal half-bloods don't need to be let in, only monsters do. When it's suddenly revealed that, wow, Tyson is a Cyclops! Who would have known that he wasn't human? Bruh. They all finish the battle and go to dinner, and to make matters slightly more complicated for Percy's already confused feelings, Poseidon claims Tyson as his son. Claiming is basically when a symbol of a god appears above someone's head to claim the person as the god's child. It's basically like a parent sending you a letter after 10 or so years of not being in your life saying, hey, I'm your parent. So being related to a Cyclops doesn't exactly make Percy happy, especially because the whole camp can't stop teasing Percy for it, including one of the staff, aka Tantalus. You may recognize his name from the word tantalizing, and this is because his eternal punishment in Hades was not being able to eat or drink anything, just to suffer. Anyways, you can imagine how much of a fun guy this is. So, slight problem from the battle that happened when Percy, Annabeth, and Tyson showed up. Camp Half-Blood is protected by this tree. It basically gives the camp its magical energy and its barrier. This tree has been poisoned, which basically means that the camp is essentially dying. However, the camp's local fun guy, Tantalus, insists everything is normal and is refusing to let anyone go on quests to fix this problem. Tantalus. What the fuck? Another detail. Grover, the satyr guy from earlier. Oh my god. Another detail. Grover, the satyr guy from earlier, has contacted Percy through their dreams by forming some sort of link. This link basically makes it so they can communicate when Percy's sleeping. However, if one of them dies, the other one does too. Grover. Grover, my boy, I like to think you're smart, but come on. So Grover tells Percy that he's trapped somewhere with a Cyclops who has in its possession the Golden Fleece, an item that has the power to heal or cleanse anything, which could very easily solve the whole magical tree dying thing. So the next night, when the whole camp is together, Percy and Annabeth explain the situation, while ignoring the protests from Tantalus, and suggest someone goes on a quest to get the fleece. Pressured by the camp chanting for a quest, Tantalus ends up sending Clarice, which angers Percy and Annabeth because Percy is the one having dreams about Grover in the first place and kinda knows what he's looking for. Tantalus, you're supposed to be smarter than this! But either way, Tantalus sends Clarice. However, this doesn't stop Percy, Annabeth, and Tyson from going on the quest without permission with a little help from Hermes and Poseidon. Cause you know, if they didn't go on the quest, then there wouldn't really be much of a book, would there? And that was the first 8.5 chapters of the book. So, if you're intrigued, I just hit my door. If you're intrigued... Bruh. So if you're intrigued, then go read the book, dang it, I'm not your slave. Theme 1. Help comes in all shapes and sizes. In the book, there are several occasions when the help the characters need is given to them in ways they didn't expect. Like, just before the quest, Hermes gives Percy a thermos, some vitamins, and a lunchbox to hold these things. All these items were very useful and often life-saving. And yes, I did just hit my door again. Deal with it. Theme 2. Trust your gut. If a situation feels shady, then it probably is. I said this in my summary for the last video too. Percy ends up getting turned into a hamster and almost doesn't get out because he was trusting a shady situation. Book. I meant book. I said video. I freaking meant book! Theme number 3. All it is together. Okay, but seriously, stick together when things are tough, and you'll get through it. Obviously, because this is only the second book in the series, their goal has to be achieved somehow, and the only reason the characters got through the story is because they worked together and never gave up. So you, right there, sitting in the classroom seat, don't give up. I don't know why there's such a long pause here. I don't know what to say next. I didn't script this part. Ah! Whew! Recording that took over 3 hours. I wonder how the other versions of me are doing. Hey, drawing me. How you doing?
Oh my gosh, my hand hurts so much. Why did we do this?
Okay. Editing me. How are you doing? Why did you procrastinate so much on this? You know we had to turn this in, and you left us a week to draw everything and edit it together with music and everything. What the frick? Okay, that's enough out of you. I think we've had enough of this video. Bye. Here's my foot. Oh my god! No, I split my foot! Hello? Is it working now? Okay. I thought I broke my mic for a second. Oh god.